Okay, so we'll start with the reorganizational meeting, and Mr. Witherow is going to administer the oath of office to the new board members. Ms. Joanne Reed, you can do them together, Pat, or? Yes. And Ms. Karen Brooks. Just go right over, and Pat will swear at you.
I should swear at you.
Is this on? Okay. Yes. Please repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Board of Education member
Board of Education member
of the Marlboro Central School District
of the Marlboro Central School District
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019, for the term beginning July 1st
2019
to June 30th, 2022, according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Okay. Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Board of Education member
the duties of the office of the Board of Education member
of the Marlboro Central School District
of the Marlboro Central School District
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019
to June 30th, 2022.
to June 30th, 2022.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we'll move to the appointment of the district clerk. Resolved that the Board of Education appoint Cindy Storno as district clerk for the 1920 school year with a stipend of $3,000. The district clerk will be bonded by St. Paul Travelers for the period of July 1, 2019 to June 30th, 2020 in the amount of $500,000. Can I have a motion? James, second. Susan, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, 7-0. Appointment of the Deputy District Clerk. Resolved that the Board of Education appoint Teresa Loria as Deputy District Clerk for the 2019-2020 school year with a stipend of $2,000. The Deputy District Clerk will be bonded at St. Paul's Travelers for the period of July 1, 2019 until June 30th, 2020 in the amount of $500,000. Can I have a motion? Karen, second. Joanne, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried 7-0. So now Mr. Witherow will, or you're going to have Pat do it? Okay. So Mr. Witherow will do the oath of office for the superintendent. Otherwise, I'm going to have you do it.
Just raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Superintendent of Schools
the duties of the office of Superintendent of Schools
of the Marlboro Central School District
of the Marlboro Central School District
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019,
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session? James, second. Susan? This should be fairly short, sorry, but we have to, it's for the purposes of us determining the officers and stuff and going through our committees and things that we have to do before. It's personnel, it's personnel and appointments. But there'll be, all in favor? Any opposed? We're back in regular session. Nominations for President of Board of Education.
Frank?
Joanne.
I'll nominate Frank.
Second.
Second.
Karen. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried 7-0. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So Pat's going to do the oath.
Yeah. Why is it so cold in here?
Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Board of Education President
the duties of the office of Board of Education President
of the Marlborough Central School
of
District
the Marlborough Central School District
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019
to June 30th, 2020,
to June 30th, 2020,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Motion for Vice President?
I'll nominate Susan.
Second. James? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried 7-0. Congratulations. Go, Parrot. We'll swear at you next.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Board of Education Vice President
the duties of the office of Board of Education Vice President
of the Marlborough Central School District
of the Marlborough Central School District
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019
for the term beginning July 1st, 2019
to June 30th, 2020,
to June 30th, 2020,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Okay, so this is going to get a little long. I've got to read a few things. We've got the resolve that the Board of Education approve the following Orange Ulster Board Delegate, Ulster Board Delegate, Code of Ethics for the Board of Education members, written policy, committee members for the Board of Education, personnel appointments of lead individuals, Board Ed meeting minutes for 2019-2020, meeting dates, excuse me, designation of banks, designation of newspaper, disbursements of petty cash, budget transfers, IRS mileage rate, title and grant programs, Committee on Special Education, impartial hearing officers, superintendent and staff conferences as presented. I don't need a motion yet because I got to give you the fill-ins for the as presented. So, because some of them were blank. For the Orange Ulster School Board Delegate, it will be Karen Brooks with the alternate of Joanne Reed. For the Ulster School Board's Delegate, it'll be myself with Karen Brooks as the alternate. For the committees, the Technology and Communications Committee will be John Cantone. The Facilities Committee will be Susan Horton, James Kuha, myself, John Cantone will be the alternate, and the community member will be Russell Conley. For the Audit Committee, it will be John Cantone, John Marrow, and myself, and the alternate will be Karen Brooks. Mr. Walters, will you serve again as the community member? Mr. Walters will be the community member. For the Safety and Transportation Committee, Ms. Joanne Reed, Mr. John Cantone, myself, and Susan will be the alternate. For the Policy Committee, Karen Brooks, John Marrow, James Kuha, and I'll be the alternate. For the Finance Committee, by policy, myself and Susan will be on it, and then John Cantone, and the alternate will be John Marrow. And that's all the fill-ins, and then we'll double check it tomorrow. That's good. Backed off. And then the only other thing that, because it's important, and just be patient with me here, we're adopting the Code of Ethics for the Board of Education. The Board of Education adopts and observes a Code of Ethics governing the conduct of its members. As members of my local Board of Education, representing all citizens of my school district, I recognize that my fellow citizens have entrusted me with the educational development of the children and youth of this community, that the public expects my first and greatest concerns to be in the best interest of each and every one of these young people without distinction as to why they are there or what their background may be. That the future welfare of this community, of this state, and of this nation depends in the largest measure upon the quality of education we provide in the public schools to fit the needs of every learner. That my fellow board members and I must take the initiative in helping all the people of this community to have all the facts all the time about their school, to the end that we will readily provide the finest possible school program, school staff, and school facilities. That legally, the authority of the board is derived from the state, which ultimately controls the organization and operations of the school district, which determines the degree of discretionary power left with the board and the people of this community for the exercise of local autonomy. Then I must never neglect my personal obligation to the community and my legal obligation to the state, nor surrender these responsibilities to any other person, group, or organization, but that, beyond these, I have a moral and civic obligation to the nation which can remain strong and free only so long as public schools in the United States of America are kept free and strong. In view of the foregoing considerations, it shall be my constant endeavor, 1, to devote time, thought, and study to these duties and responsibilities of a school board member so that I may render effective and credible service, to work with my fellow board members in a spirit of harmony and cooperation in spite of differences of opinions that arise during vigorous debates of points of issue, to base my personal decisions upon all available facts in each situation, to vote my honest conviction in every case, unswayed by partisan bias of any kind, thereafter to abide by and uphold the final majority decision of the board. To remember at all times that as an individual, I have no legal authority outside the meetings of the board, and to conduct my relationships with the school staff, the local citizenry, and all media of communications on the basis of this fact. To resist every temptation and outside pressure to use my position as a school board member to benefit either myself or any other individual or agency apart from the total interest of the school district. To recognize that it is important for the board to understand and evaluate the educational program of the schools as it is to plan for business of schools operations. To bear in mind under all circumstances that the primary function of the board is to establish the policies by which the schools are to be administered, but that the administration of the educational program and the conduct of the school business shall be left to the employed superintendent of schools and his professional and non-professional staff. To welcome and encourage active cooperation by citizens, organizations, and the media of communication in the district with respect to establishing policy on current school operations and proposed future developments, to support my state and national school board association. Finally, to strive step by step toward ideal conditions for the most effective school board service to my community in the spirit of teamwork and devotion to public education as the greatest instrument for the preservation and perpetuation of our representative democracy. So we're adopting that tonight as ours, and we just felt as a board it was important that we actually read that so everybody understands what we as the board are responsible for. So now can I have a motion on the consent agenda? James, second. John Cantone. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion to adjourn the reorganization meeting. James and Joanne.